Hi, Jefferson. It's so good to see all of you. I wish we were together in person, but here we are again. It's another week. I know that last week we marked the 100th day of school. Can you believe it? That means we only have 80 more days left. Less now because we're in the next week. I know that some of you did some fun projects in class for that, or others are doing other fun projects. I've been thinking about all of you a lot, and I've been thinking about how the changes in our lives have been really big lately, right? There's been school changes, there's been friend changes. Some of you have even moved. Some of you have moved away from other family members or had to say goodbye to family members. Some of you are in different classrooms, have different teachers, right? Some of you maybe had friends that moved away. Some of you aren't doing the sports that you were doing before. Some of you are doing some sports, but it looks a little different. I want you to think about the changes that have happened in your life over the last almost year. It's almost been a year since we were together at Jefferson. And I want you to think about how you're going to get through those changes. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, I'm having some changes, but they're going really well, right? But other times when big things happen, and right now, COVID is the big thing happening in our lives, it can create some strong feelings for us. And it can make us act in certain ways. Guess what's really cool? The way that you think affects the way that you feel, and that affects the way that you behave. I know, can you believe it? So if you're feeling down about something or sad because you're missing something or someone, then that can make you feel really down. It can affect the way your body even feels. Where do you feel that in your body, right? And then that can affect the way you act. Maybe you're not being so kind to your family because you're feeling sad, or maybe you're not acting like the same student you used to be with your schoolwork. Today we're going to read a book called The Bad Seed, and it's going to talk about a seed who went through a change or a scary moment and how that changed him, and then how he was able to get back to himself in the end. You ready? The Bad Seed. This book is by Jory John. I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. Oh yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble, there goes a bad seed. But I can hear them. I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? Well, I never put things back where they belong. I'm late to everything. I tell long jokes with no punchlines. I never wash my hands or my feet. I lie about pointless stuff. I cut in line every time. I stare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences and I never listen. I glare at everybody. And I do lots of other bad things too. Know why? Because I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born a humble seed on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close. That reminds me of Jefferson. But then the petals dropped. And our flower drooped. It's kind of a blur. I remember a bag. What's happening? Can you think about what might be happening? Everything went dark. And then a giant. I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done for. I screamed. I hollered. Ah! But I was spit out at the last possible second. I flew through the air and I landed under the bleachers with a huge thud. When I woke up, it was dark outside. A wad of gum had softened my fall. I felt okay, but something had changed in me. I'd become a different seed entirely. I'd become a bad seed. Yeah, friends. Something happened and he changed. A bad seed. That's right, I stopped smiling. I kept to myself. I drifted. I was friend to nobody and bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care, and it suited me. Bad seed. Until recently, I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're so used to being bad, but I'm trying. I'm taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen sometimes, and I still show up late, and I still talk during movies, and I do all kinds of other bad stuff. But I also say thank you, and I say please, and I smile, and I hold doors open for people. Not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad, sometimes I also feel kind of good. It's sort of a mix. All I can do is keep trying and keep thinking, maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. Hey, look, there goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I heard that. Seeds. All right, Jefferson. So the bad seed, something big happened in the bad seed's life. What was it? Yeah, his life changed. Something happened. The flower drooped. He turned into a seed that people put in a bag and eat, right? Can you think of something in your life right now that changed and that made you feel different? Yeah, it's okay if you feel that way, but I want you to know that when you are able to think about who you want to be and how you want to act, you can decide that you want to feel a different way. Sometimes it's really hard, and I love how this book explains that it's not just happening in an instant. And in fact, do you notice that the bad seed still feels down or sad or bad sometimes? Of course he does, because that's normal. But also, it's sort of mixed up. There's other feelings happening now too. It's not just the bad seed feeling or the need to be bad. Also, sometimes when we start to act a certain way, everybody around us expects us to act that way. And so sometimes we feel like we have to keep acting that way. Otherwise, people might not know who we are, or what might they do or say if they see us acting a different way. You can act differently, you can feel differently, you can feel many feelings, and it's okay to feel those feelings and act differently in front of all people. So I want you to remember that, just like the bad seed did, right? He's building his confidence. He knows that it's okay to change the way he feels so that he can change the way that he acts and behaves and thinks. Thanks, Jefferson. Great seeing you. See you next week.